Alrighty. The beer's open, the cold pizza's almost consumed, and we have a game in the high school fleet Harikaze, the anime series, but not being a big fan of anime, that's alright. It's a good boat. 3 triple mount 100mm turrets on this particular build with 2 quad mount torpedo launchers. So here we go. It's going to be me and the Harry Caray here, and we're going to see what we can do. Great thing about this boat is its rate of fire. It's 3 seconds reload like American destroyers. The 100mm guns, they can tend to shatter a little bit, but your rate of fire is so high that, in particular against other destroyers that honestly are better than you, just I think the sound of all the shells hitting the hulls tends to push people off. So here we go. Heading into B. I'm going to try and spot for the team. The big problem is that my torpedo range is exactly the same range as radar for the other side. So I'm going to try and spot, hopefully find their destroyer first, because I have a I think it's a 5.1 detection or 5.4. It's very similar to the Tier 5 Karikaze R and that whole series. And smoke goes up right before B, so I'm going to come back around. Just trying to keep targets lit at this point. Hitting my engine boost so that I'm thinking I can come back and smoke 1 or 2 of these heavies back here. There's their destroyer. He's popping smoke. He's still not on B though. He's not capping. All I'm trying to do is keep targets lit at this point. Popping smoke. We'll go for that Bismarck at the very least. I was hoping that the New Orleans would slow down, but you can understand when you're facing all those guys making you the belle of the ball. So our Fubuki is dumped torps into B and is getting out of there, rightfully so. I'm going to push up. Use his smoke to keep me covered from like the Colorado, even maybe the Mogami, but I'm trying to find that destroyer at this point. I'll probably throw the torps off here for the smoke. We're capping C. The enemy has radio position finding and I'm briefly lit by it. Throwing a wide side maybe, yep. Just trying to put a hole, but there's... It's a Nievny. Controls aren't working, so I can't zoom in on him. But... put some rounds into him. Now... taking fire from this Benson, who's got a very high rate of fire. Now it turns out there's 2 destroyers. So, 2-1 with a battleship coming up around. Yeah, forcing them to pop smoke. Torpedoes coming in. I mean, he's got more health than I do, but he's turning off. And I think this has to do with having the rate of fire and the double mounts hitting. Going after their Fubuki now. Back to the Benson. Looking at possibly dumping torpedoes on that point just to say hello. Meanwhile, we've capped D, starting to cap C. They aren't really pushing for B. Got 8 seconds left before smoke, so I'm just going to try and sit here between our heavies and those 2 destroyers. I think at this point I was thinking of getting over to the Fuso and smoking him, but I may just end up dropping a wall of smoke that might cover a couple of guys, and that's what I end up doing. Fuso's turning off. Now, I'm just over half health, and at this point I figure I'm just going to go over and press and try and find those 2 destroyers, so I'm outnumbered. There's a Benson who's got a high rate of fire. And there's a Fubuki who, while he doesn't have a high rate of fire, that's a whole, there he is. That's a whole extra set of guns that I've got to deal with. Dumping torps on the Benson just to say hello, trying to stay out of his detect range. But there's the Fubuki, so I'm gonna... Oh, torpedoes are up. Looking at the Fubuki, I'm still outside of his detection range. I'm about to pop detection. Popping torps. Going guns. Oh, he's turned off. And guns. So I gotta imagine now my firing rate, and back into my own smoke, is below 2.5. Well, it's around 2.5 seconds. And I can, since everybody else has got him lit, I can just pour on the fire. Smoke is dissipating, so I'm going to be spotted soon. There we go. Set him on fire, 6 hits. See him again. May as well send a message or 2. And out of detection range, he throws off 2 rounds at me. Now we're down at this point. Look at that. Oh, no, we're not down. We're up. But they've done a heavy push on A. We're capping B. And I'm coming back around to tangle with those 2 destroyers, the Gneisenau and the Bismarck. At this point I'm thinking I can smoke the Bismarck and Gneisenau on B, but I'm going to try and get some torpedoes off on their Gneisenau, Stauffenberg, Fear, 44. I don't know, what is 44 in German? Oh, destroyers popped, going guns. Fubuki, torpedoes and engine out, and now destroyer out. Now I'm going to switch guns over to the Gneisenau because I'm detected, and I may as well set fires, do what I can, and draw attention. Took some rounds, some heavy damage. Torpedoes are going, popping smoke. Torpedo in and a flood on the Gneisenau. Firing on the Bismarck now. Torpedo in, 2 torpedoes in on Bismarck. Have I said this is a good boat? The rate of fire is insane. So I'm just going to sit here, shoot at targets of opportunity, wait for my torpedoes to come back up. try out some AP on the French cruiser. One overpen. That's saying something. An overpen with 100 millimeters. Time to move out. More AP on the French cruiser. And look at that, I got myself a Gneisenau. He must have flooded now. Going back to HE, hope to start some fires on La Galissonière. So I'm up to 103 gun hits, 3 torpedoes, 3 floods, 2 sunk. And I'm just going to pour it on here. Time to move, smoke is going. We're up 992 points, and this is going to be game.
Was baseball mad, had the fever and had it bad, just to root for the hometown crew every Sioux, Katie Blue. On a Saturday, her young beau called to see if she'd like to go to see a show, but Miss Kate said no. I'll tell you what you can do. Take me out to the ball game, take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the home team. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old